Imagine waking up to catastrophic earthquakes, huge wildfires engulfing your town, or being hit by a massive tsunami wave, all of which are a harsh reality for thousands every year. We lose around 60,000 lives annually due to natural disasters, according to the Global Change Data Lab. After enduring unimaginable wars, genocides, and destruction in the past century, you'd think humans would have learned their lesson. Instead, we continue to ravage our home in this new era. Is it time to consider an evacuation plan and find a safer haven? But where could that be? Get ready to blast off into the unknown with Riddle Voyager, our next-gen spaceship that's about to change the game. We're assembling a team of the world's leading scientists, and we need you on board to join this epic quest for a new home. Together, we'll create a list of Earth's top contenders for exoplanet life, and then it's off to explore distant galaxies in search of signs of living beings beyond our planet. But hold up, what secrets might be lurking beneath the surface of those seemingly perfect exoplanets? And how far are these potential new homes really from us? Buckle up, because the adventure begins now. Here's a mind-blowing fact. You can actually own your very own planet right here on Earth, and it's more realistic than you think. Introducing Movaglobes, these stunning, high-tech globes are so lifelike that space fans will love them. With over 40 designs to choose from, featuring breathtaking NASA imagery of planets, moons, and asteroids, you'll feel like you're holding the universe in your hands. The best part: no batteries or cords needed. These incredible globes harness Earth's own magnetic field to create a mesmerizing rotation effect. It's like having a tiny, spinning piece of space magic right on your desk. Now that we've got our very own Earth-powered planets sorted, it's time to blast off into the cosmos. No more worrying about cables or harsh light, just pure, spacey bliss. As a special treat for you guys, use my exclusive code BIGEXPLAINER10 at Movaglobes. Come and score an awesome 10% discount. All the details are in the video description below. Now, let's dive back into exploring those fascinating exoplanets and uncover their secrets. Before we start scouting the galaxy for our perfect match, let's set up some ground rules, or should I say, space rules. We'll need to use NASA's Habitability Index as our guide. This cool tool rates planets from 0 to 1, and any spotter that hits above 0.8 can be considered a real Earth-like gem. Take Mars, for instance. It scored an impressive 0.64, and Venus came close with 0.78. But we're aiming higher than just close, so let's keep searching for the ultimate cosmic match. Now we're setting our sights on the #1 contender for life beyond Earth, Kepler 452b. This star kid has already won over the science community, but we're not just taking their word for it, we're heading out to investigate this cosmic gem ourselves. Dubbed a close cousin to Earth, Kepler 452b is about 60% larger in diameter than our home planet, and astronomers believe its surface could be rocky and feature liquid water, two key ingredients for life as we know it. But what really gets us excited is that Kepler's orbit is only about 5% longer than Earth's, which means a year on this exoplanet would last approximately 385 days. That's remarkably close to our own planet, suggesting that the changing seasons and their durations could be eerily similar. Imagine being able to grow grain crops on Kepler 452b and providing for yourself just like we do here on Earth. It's an incredible possibility that has us buzzing with anticipation. While Kepler 452b seems like the ultimate home away from Earth, let's not forget that establishing a thriving colony means securing two essential things: food and safety. First off, we need to consider its star, Kepler 452. It's about 20% brighter and 10% larger than our Sun, which means more ultraviolet radiation would be reaching the surface of Kepler 452b. That's something humans wouldn't be exposed to on Earth, so we'd need to find ways to shield ourselves from this increased UV exposure. On the bright side, in every other way, Kepler 452b is a near-perfect match for our needs. It's rocky, has liquid water, and orbits its star in a duration that's almost identical to an Earth year. But for now, let's not pop the champagne just yet. We've only just begun our search for the ideal human habitat. And as luck would have it, Kepler 452b is currently at the top of our list, but there are many more exciting destinations waiting to be explored and evaluated before we make our final decision. Hold up, things just took a dramatic turn. Our initial excitement about Kepler 452b might need to take a backseat because of some pretty significant concerns. Let's put its rocky surface chances into perspective. we're only looking at a 60% likelihood, which means there's a 40% chance we could end up on a gas giant instead. Can you imagine settling on a planet that's basically a giant balloon? The survival prospects would be extremely slim, and it would be a nightmare to try and adapt. But wait, it gets even more complicated. Kepler 452b might have strong gravitational forces due to the increased mass of its star, Kepler. This could lead to some serious issues. For instance, the atmosphere might become denser, triggering an intense greenhouse effect. In other words, we'd be looking at a much warmer planet than Earth, which would drastically alter our climate and potentially make it uninhabitable. We've got to take a step back, revise our rankings, and get ready for some hard decisions as we continue on this exciting yet challenging quest to find the perfect new home for humanity. Now that the bubbles burst, let's take a closer look at our star. Kepler, it might be older than our Sun, which means it's gone through some changes. One key difference: it's now heating up its exoplanet way more intensely. If water ever existed on Kepler 452b, it could have already been vaporized due to this extreme heat. This raises a startling possibility. Instead of landing on a super Earth, we might actually end up on a scorching hot version of Venus. But here's the catch: right now, our data is mostly based on guesswork and assumptions. We think the planet could be around 2 degrees Celsius without an atmosphere, or a sweltering 30 degrees with one. Not too different from Earth. However, we're still in the dark about many details. It's all just speculation until we gather more evidence. But there's a major catch, folks. Our top candidate for a super Earth just got knocked down several notches, literally by 1,400 light years. This exoplanet is so far away that it'll take its signal about 14 centuries to reach us. It's actually one of the most distant, potentially habitable planets we've found. With distances this vast, our chances of getting more precise data are slim. So it might be time to demote Kepler 452b and focus on finding something a bit closer to home and a whole lot less mysterious. Let's throw out the rulebook for a sec. Maybe Earth's recipe for life isn't the only one in the universe. And maybe that's exactly what makes space so awesome. As of 2022, scientists have discovered over 5,000 exoplanets, many of which are chillin' in the habitable zone around stars that are basically just like our Sun. This zone is where conditions are just right for life as we know it to potentially pop up. We're on a mission to find more G-class stars, just like our own, and their corresponding celestial bodies. That's why we zeroed in on the constellation of Draco. It's got one of these sun-like stars, known as GST. So far, though, our data hasn't shown us any planets hanging out in that sweet habitable zone spot. Hold up, could this be a major oops moment for scientists back on Earth? We traveled across millions of miles to find nothing but... Wait, what's that faint red flicker? It's hard to make out, but it looks like we've stumbled upon a gas giant, and it goes by the name of Trestubi. This planet is pretty massive, actually, about as big as Jupiter, but with some serious tricks up its sleeve. The reason we might have missed it initially is because Trestubi's surface reflects an incredibly tiny amount of light from its star, just a hair over 1%. That makes this gas giant super tough to spot, like trying to find a firefly on a cloudy night. Talk about dark horse, Trestubi's reflectivity levels are even lower than a dye mixture of black acrylic paint and soot. That makes it officially the darkest planet we've discovered as humans. Now, you'd think that being super close to its star would make Trestubi one bright ride. But nope. Scientists David Kipping and David Spiegel have been digging into this mystery, and they believe the culprit behind this darkness might be hiding in plain sight, or rather, in the atmosphere. It turns out Trestubi's got some special chemicals that are masters at sucking up light: sodium, potassium, and titanium oxide. These atmospheric elements are essentially black holes for photons, making it a whole lot harder to spot our new, mysterious friend Trestubi. Hold up, things just got even more intense. Trestubi's not just dark, it's also stuck in a never-ending cycle. Due to tidal locking, this exoplanet is perpetually facing one direction towards its star. Imagine one side basking in eternal daylight while the other is plunged into perpetual night. The only spot where life could potentially thrive would be that super slim twilight zone in between. But here's the deal breaker: Trestubi's temperatures are a major showstopper. But wait, it gets even hotter, literally. Trestubi's daytime side is a mind-blowing 980 degrees Celsius. That's far beyond any spacesuit's limit, let alone building a human colony. And as we're not exactly ready to chill on gas giants yet, this planet is basically a no-go zone. So buckle up because Tristubi just got the boot from our list. And that means Kepler 452b is out too. We need to keep exploring or risk our ship becoming a puddle of space goo. Time for some cool air, right? But here's the amazing part, we're about to enter the TRAPPIST-1 system, home to an incredibly small star with 7 planets orbiting around it, just 39 light-years away from Earth. Get ready for a major space revelation. We're diving into the TRAPPIST-1 system, and what we're looking at is a tiny dwarf star, packing only about 9% of our sun's power. It may be small, but it has 7 planets dancing around it. Research done by University of Washington scientists showed that these planets probably lost their water just like Venus did back in the day when the sun was still forming. But here's where things get really cool. There's this one planet. TRAPPIST-1 and grad student Andrew Linkowski thinks it might have kept its water intact despite the harsh radiation from its star. That means TRAPPIST-1 could be a total ocean planet. Can you imagine that? Now let's talk about what makes TRAPPIST-1 so exciting. It could be a real-life clone of Earth, with a climate that matches ours almost perfectly. But here's the thing. We don't have enough data to confirm if this is actually the case. Astronomers used the Kepler and Spitzer telescopes to try and gather more info, but they couldn't quite crack the code. One possibility is that TRAPPIST-1 has an atmosphere super dense with oxygen, which would mean humans would need some serious space gear just to breathe. Think of it like a futuristic sci-fi movie. So, for now, we'll keep TRAPPIST-1 in the running, but let's be honest, our hopes were high for this one. Maybe what we thought we knew about life-supporting planets wasn't entirely correct. Maybe we need to start thinking outside the box and considering all kinds of worlds as potential homes for us. Get ready for a cosmic double feature. We're about to take a closer look at 2 fascinating worlds that are more alike than you might think. They're like twin celestial cousins in space. Imagine gazing out at your familiar horizon, but instead of our moon, a whole new planet comes into view. And what a sight it is! The sky would appear as if set aflame with a deep, fiery red hue, like molten lava stretching across the heavens. Welcome to Kepler 36c and its trusty sidekick, Kepler 36b. These 2 celestial neighbors can be found about 1,530 light-years away in the majestic constellation of Cygnus Hor. So buckle up, and let's dive into what makes these space twins truly unique. Let's dive into the fascinating world of Kepler 36b. It's a real giant. This space marvel is an impressive 1.5 times larger than our home planet Earth. And get this, its mass is equivalent to 4 entire planets, like ours combined. Kepler 36b zooms around its star in just 14 short days, which means its year is seriously accelerated compared to what we're used to on Earth. But it's not a solo act. Its neighbor Kepler 36c has its own impressive stats too, with a weight that's 8 times greater than Earth's, and years lasting only 16 days. This exoplanet is no slouch either. And here's the mind-boggling part. These 2 celestial giants are separated by an enormous distance of about 2 million kilometers. Can you imagine having such a massive neighbor so close by? So, let's try to wrap our heads around just how unusual this planetary duo is. If Earth were to suddenly find itself at a distance of about 2 million kilometers from Venus, which is roughly 0.01% of the average distance between them now, it would be an astronomical sight for sure. But what's truly remarkable about Kepler 36b and 36c is their close proximity, given how different they are in size. Scientists think that Kepler 36b might have been a gas giant back in the day, with a massive hydrogen and helium envelope surrounding its core. Over time, this envelope could have evaporated, leaving behind a solid surface, transforming it into the planet we know today. As for their orbital dance, these 2 sisters come within 97 days of each other when they're at their closest point. Talk about having a neighborly encounter in space. Just imagine these 2 planets, Kepler 36b and c, locking orbits every 97 days. It's like a cosmic dance with an extreme gravitational pull. As they pass each other, their intense forces trigger massive earthquakes and volcanic eruptions on both worlds. But that's not all. Being scorchingly close to their star means temperatures are sizzling hot, making them inhospitable for any potential life forms. If we somehow managed to land a spacecraft on either of these planets, it'd be like sending our crew straight into a fiery oven. With these extreme conditions in mind, Kepler 36b and c aren't exactly at the top of our list when it comes to finding a new home for humanity. So, it's back to searching. We've got two more promising candidates waiting for us, and guess what? One of them might already be occupied by an alien civilization. Get ready to blast off and explore one of the most intriguing destinations, Gliese 667c, a super planet that's about 4 times heftier than our home planet Earth. Located a whopping 22 light-years away, it's like looking through a cosmic telescope at an otherworldly giant. But here's the catch: scientists are still scratching their heads when it comes to understanding Gliese's true nature due to limited data. A super planet with unknown parameters is like trying to solve a puzzle without all the pieces. With its massive size, objects on Gliese might weigh much more than their earthly counterparts, and its orbit around its star takes a speedy 28 days to complete. So, will we receive an extraterrestrial welcome or a chilly reception at this distant giant? The journey continues as we unravel more secrets of the universe. Buckle up and get ready for the ultimate cosmic party, or should I say, cosmic contrast. On Gliese 667c, you could have one side basking in perpetual daylight with scorching temperatures of up to 27 degrees C, while the other side is shrouded in eternal night with chilling lows of -27 degrees C. That's one wild temperature swing. But here's the mind-blowing part: despite these extreme conditions, scientists think there might just be a sweet spot on this super planet for liquid water to exist. Yes, you heard that right, Gliese 667c is smack in the habitable zone, but it's anything but your typical Earth-like haven. So, pack your space bags and get ready for a year-round adventure that's 13 times more thrilling than our New Year's celebrations. You know what's truly awe-inspiring? The tiny tardigrades, or water bears, that can thrive in some of Earth's most extreme environments. These microscopic marvels, only about 1.5 millimeters long, live life on the edge, think hot springs, icy ocean depths, and even the rooftop summits of the Himalayas. What's their secret? They're virtually indestructible, capable of withstanding temperatures that freeze or vaporize most other living things. From a mind-numbing -270 Threegus to a scorching +150 degrees C. If these incredible water bears can handle our planet's extreme conditions, just imagine what they might be able to withstand on an alien world like Gliese 6067c. Who knows, maybe the tardigrades will be the first intergalactic explorers, defying gravity and adapting to the wildest environments in the universe. And if that's not enough, tardigrades can also cheat death by skipping water altogether. They enter a state called cryptobiosis, where their metabolic processes completely shut down. They've even survived being blasted with high levels of radiation and of rays in experiments sent to space. It's no surprise then that these tiny titans were able to bounce back from time on the International Space Station. But as amazing as tardigrades are, let's be real, we're not exactly built for intergalactic travel just yet. Back here on Earth, we have to worry about other radiation on Gliese 667c being way more intense than what we experience at home. How would our skin handle that kind of powerful radiation? It's a crucial question as we continue to imagine life beyond our planet. Now, let's dive into the harsh realities of other radiation on Gliese. It could be a major game changer for human settlers. Prolonged exposure might lead to cancer and even permanent damage to our eyes. Despite these challenges, Gliese still has plenty going for it. Its cozy temperature range, proximity to Earth, water availability, and thick atmosphere make it an attractive contender for our intergalactic real estate hunt. But as we continue the search, a new challenger emerges from the vast expanse of space. Meet Wolfton 69b, the 2022 discovery that's got everyone talking. What sets this exoplanet apart is its ridiculously close proximity to its star. We're talking about a scorching hot neighborhood. Could this sizzling situation give Wolfton 69b the edge it needs to steal the top spot in our intergalactic ranking? Let's find out. Hold on, you're thinking, if Earth were that close to the sun, we'd be toast. And you're right, our solar system's delicate balance would be turned upside down. But here's the twist: Wolfton 69b's star is actually much smaller than our sun, which means it's not a scorched Earth scenario after all. In fact, researchers estimate that this exoplanet receives about 65% of the energy from its star compared to Earth. And still, it might just have comfortable temperatures. Computer simulations are hinting at moderate temps and an atmosphere that's eerily similar to our own, which is pretty amazing considering its super close orbit. This newcomer is definitely giving Gliese a run for its money in our intergalactic ranking. Now let's dive into some of Wolfton 69b's other characteristics. Here's the thing. because it orbits so close to its star. One side of the exoplanet is always bathed in heat and light, while the other side remains in eternal darkness. But if you're thinking that living on the edge, where day meets night, could be a cool perk, think again. Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb has a warning for us. Planets like Wolf-Ton 69b might not have the stable atmospheres we need to call home. The intense stellar winds and ultraviolet flares from its star can cause major disruptions, making it tough for these planets to retain their air. And if that weren't enough, scientists agree that without a thick atmosphere, liquid water, the foundation of life as we know it would likely evaporate away on the surface. This adds another layer of complexity to Wolf-Ton 69b's habitability puzzle. Let's look at some planetary parallels. Mars, for instance, faced a similar fate, losing its atmosphere due to harsh solar winds. So while Wolf-Ton 69b shows promise, it's not without its challenges. The dynamic relationship between our potential new home and its star makes its habitability status uncertain, and the lack of info about its atmosphere means we can't give it a clear thumbs up just yet. That leaves us with some tough choices. But no worries, we've been keeping track all along. And now's the time to reveal the final rankings. Taking third place is Wolf-Ton 69b. And now, it's time for our top contenders. Taking the silver is Kepler 452b, an Earth like gem in a distant solar system. But wait, our winner and the exoplanet that's stolen our hearts is Gliese 667c. However, as we gaze out into space, dreaming of new beginnings, let's not forget, wherever we land, we're just visiting. Even our top pick isn't without its challenges. For instance, on Gliese, life might require an underground lifestyle. The intense ultraviolet radiation from its star could make above-ground settlements a no-go. Not only that, but the gravitational pull is almost 1.5 times stronger than Earth's, so be prepared to pack those extra workout clothes for intergalactic adventures. But here's another reason why our home planet is so special. On Gliese 667c, your 75 kilograms would feel like a whopping 120 kilograms due to the stronger gravity. You'd need those cool C-Fi exoskeletons just to move around freely. And that's not all. Our star has some serious mood swings too, as red dwarfs often do. It can develop spots that dim its brightness by up to 40%, and these dramatic changes could last for months on end. Imagine living through those unpredictable light cycles. It would be tough not just for us humans, but also for other living beings. So while Gliese 667c is a stunning exoplanet, for now, Earth still takes the crown as humanity's safest haven in space. Here's some mind-blowing stuff. Life on Earth has been going strong for an astonishing 3.5 billion years, surviving crazy conditions like ice ages and meteorite crashes. It even withstood radiation that could have wiped us out a long time ago. Now, we're not saying it's impossible to destroy all life here, but it's clear that our home planet is one tough cookie. So, why don't we flip the script? Instead of searching for a new place to live, let's focus on learning more about our own Earth and how we can protect it for as long as possible. What do you think? Should we prioritize preserving our current home or keep exploring space for that perfect new planet? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Now it's your turn to shine. We want to hear from you. Hit that